you present your offer or an offer of service to somebody and they say no to you. That rejection can hit somebody hard in their soul. And the truth of the matter is that you just have to be brave enough to continue to offer.
Hi, I'm Maude and this is the Realtors Conspiracy podcast, where we crack the code to real estate success. Learn from top realtors, entrepreneurs, and innovators about how to grow your business as we discuss real estate success stories, mindset, processes, motivations, and the key to their success. Check out our podcast episodes every Monday to crack the code to success for your real estate business. This week, I'm speaking with Chris Jagt, co-owner at Chase Realty Brokerage. Chris shared some tips and tricks for realtors wanting to grow, and we dug deep into one of realtors' worst pain in their business, which is the database. If you find yourself overwhelmed trying to manage, grow, and care for your database, then it's time to get to my chat with Chris. Hey Chris, thanks for joining us on the episode again today. Tell us, how can realtors stay on top of their game?
You know, it's a great question, to be honest with you. So as a real estate agent and in sales in general, actually in any profession really, if you're not learning, you're falling behind. It's not a matter of, staying level. You need to be constantly learning new things, exploring new opportunities, investigating, and certainly trying to stay with the trends that are going on in the market. So, from an educational standpoint, more being in part of workshops or training seminars, are reading more books, talking to more people, exploring and branching out your sphere of influence and your sphere of interaction, I think is really key to stay on top of your game. We tend to find a small bubble of people that we rely on for opinions. The challenge is that those people's opinions tend to become homogenous relatively quickly. So we tend to fall into the pattern of having the same thought process, same patterns as they might, which is a challenge to, continue to stay on the cutting edge or, continue to trend forward. So I would say branch out and build and reach out to different spheres as often as you can. Continue to bring new information into your sphere is a key way to stay on top of and stay on the cutting edge.
For sure. You talked about books and resources. What kind of books do you go to, or author do you go to? What's your go-to?
Well, standby is always, Seth Godin is really a good standby. Brian Tracy's a good standby. There's a lot of different books that I've read recently. Actually, what I've picked up on lately has been doing course material from college courses. So going into to campuses and campus bookstores and picking up their training manuals that they're using to teach people, because they're open to the public. You can go buy the books there, and they're books that you can't buy at Chapters, Indigo, and on generally on Amazon either.
Yeah, business books, marketing books, all of it.
Yeah, you pick a field. It doesn't have to be business. It doesn't have to be related to sales. It can be something sociology and psychology. It can be something on health and wellness. It can be something on money and finance. It certainly doesn't have to be solely on sales. And the more you branch out your educational kind of net, the more likely it is that you're going to be able to find something that can provide new values to your client base.
Yeah, for sure. And then, as co-owner of a brokerage, how do you help and support your realtors to help them grow?
Yeah, so Chase Realty has a success library of books that they can loan out to our agents at any time. We do trainings every week with with our agents. We meet every week via Zoom. We have a video database of frequently asked questions that we've answered in the past. We continue to create new materials for our agents, and those things continue to grow. We also have a brokerage support hotline within Chase Realty, so that when our agents require assistance during the course of their daily business, They don't have to try to track down a specific person. They just dial into this phone number and it automatically goes to our broker on call. So it may be the broker of record, it may be one of our managing brokers, but you'll always get a broker to answer the phone and answer the question that you're looking to have answered.
Yeah, that's a great resource for realtors when they're struggling or putting an offer in to have
You
access
know,
to that.
yeah, yeah. It's not just when I'm having trouble though. Sometimes it's just good to bounce an idea off of somebody, um, because it is a very isolating industry where you are generally feeling fairly solo, right? So just having the ear of somebody is super helpful, and it really is comforting to know that somebody's always there and always has your back.
Nice. Yeah. So you talk about frequently asked questions. What would be the most recurring questions you get from realtors?
Oh,
What
yeah.
comes back?
So the thing that's interesting again because there, if I were to scale them on the bell curve, a lot of questions would be around negotiating. A lot of questions would be around clause interpretation, what clauses mean, and how to write a good clause, or what they should be adding, especially in this current market, um, where we went from a period of reduced negotiations and reduced conditions, and we're coming into a period that could potentially be a lot more negotiations, a lot more conditions, um, a lot more time between listing and sale. So those questions, when we're not fresh on something, when we haven't been practicing something, our brains tend to file it under G for garbage. Even though that stuff tends to be actually extremely important, we just haven't used it in so long that we just need refreshers. So it's most of the questions revolve around a bit of uncertainty in how to do certain things within the transaction.
No, makes sense for sure. You focus a lot on new realtors and helping them get set up and grow their business. So what would be your best advice for new realtors starting up?
Oh, bravery.
Nice,
The-
brave.
my bet my best advice is to be brave. And that's a challenging one, right? Because the next question should really be is how do I be brave?
Yeah, let's go.
um, and oftentimes it's being brave in 5-second increments. Be brave enough to go knock on that door. Go be brave enough to make the phone call. Be brave enough to ask a question that you might feel uncomfortable with, but that needs to be asked. Because we're in a profession that is really around helping people make big decisions. If we're not able to have big conversations, then that trust that they may have in us is hard to find.
Yeah,
Um, so being brave, being confident in your approach, even when you're scared, I think is my number one biggest advice piece for any new realtor. You've taken the step to become a real estate agent, which is a huge step. But doing the courses and signing the paperwork, that's not the hardest part. The hardest part is when you present your offer or an offer of service to somebody and they say no to you. That rejection can hit somebody hard in their soul. And the truth of the matter is that you just have to be brave enough to continue to offer,
yeah.
right? And
Absolutely.
sweep it under the rug or off your shoulders and just keep moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that bravery because a lot of realtors think, oh, I'm gonna get in real estate, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be like super busy and successful. But then it's all in the mindset. They don't want to do door knocking or cold calling or the steps because they're shy and they're not feeling confident, but the bravery comes up.
Absolutely. I mean, people should take, if you're having a hard time finding, how to be brave, um, stop looking for clients, right? And start looking for connections.
Nice.
Um, right? Opportunities to connect are more important than making a sale. Um, so part of what I would suggest to people is find business owners like yourself, Maude, and call them and ask them how they did it,
Yeah.
right? Because success leaves clues, and successful people want to share their successes. Oftentimes, you can find yourself a mentor in a very unsuspecting place. It certainly doesn't need to be a real estate agent to mentor you in
No.
how to be a good customer service agent.
Yeah, true. Can be from any industry. Anyone
Absolutely,
up to.
absolutely.
Yeah. what would be key actions that every realtor should be doing?
Oh, database.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's easy for me anyway. Oftentimes I find that realtors forget or they abandon their databases, and their databases are really, it's really the gold mine, if you will, of a realtor's career, because inside your database will always be nuggets of gold,
Yes.
right? If you continue to work through your database, um, you will find ways to do business. Uh, a lot of people start to look for different minds all the time. They look for different ways to find new business. They will start cold calling, they will start doing door knocking, they will start doing mail outs, they will start doing websites, they will start doing TikToks or Twitters or Instagrams. They will start doing Facebooks and ads and all this stuff, but they don't go deep enough into that mine to actually find the rewards. And
Mhm.
some of those mines are deeper than others, and some of those rewards are bigger than others. And you have to you have to stay with one thing as long as you possibly can, in order to reap those rewards. And you already have a database of people that already will more than likely pick up the phone when you call,
Yeah.
right? You don't need to find them; they're already there, right? So I would say that would be the biggest thing is call the people that have already chosen you as their realtor or their friend or their comrade or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
because they're there for you.
That's a
Work
true.
your database.
It's a recurring thing with realtors, the shiny object, going all
Oh,
over, getting distracted, not focusing on one thing. So, like, pick one. So, let's dig deep on that database. What would you say
absolutely.
to someone who says, I don't have enough on my database? How do I put more people on there? How do you support them with
So adding people to database is kind of like a summer or a spring river, right? They flow. So people will go in and go out of your database. The trick is to ask the people in your database for people like them to be added to your database.
that?
So you might ask something similar to, you know, if you had a friend or family who might be thinking of buying or selling, would I be the realtor that you would choose to refer them to? And if they say yes, then say, do you happen to know any of your friends or family that may be thinking about or would like to have a chat about real estate with me?
Yeah.
Um, it's really about asking the questions. The other thing is, don't be shy to ask for information. So when I'm going door knocking, I don't bring business cards with me. I don't bring flyers generally with me. Um, I bring information with me. And when I'm at the door, I will share that information with somebody. And I would say something similar to, if you would like more information like this, I'd be happy to send it to you. And if they say yes, then I will pull out my phone and I will text them my information right there on the spot. And the
Okay.
reason I text them on the spot is because as soon as I do that, I have captured their phone number,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So I have brought people into my database.
Nice.
Most people will say yes to providing their information because they don't believe you're actually going to follow through with sending an email.
With information.
Because people go to the door expecting to make sales. Like, that's not the purpose of door knocking. The purpose of door knocking isn't to make a sale. The purpose of door knocking is to make a connection.
Yeah.
People need to know that you care before they care what you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And after building your database, a lot of people will get overwhelmed with what do I do, what to do.
Yeah.
So what's your tip on how to utilize your database?
So I would say, if you don't have the time to manage your own database, then you should be looking for a strategic partner to help you do that.
Yeah.
The database system that you use, if it becomes that, when it becomes a monster, then you should be looking for a different system that can help you automate. Automation is the key, I mean, to a robust career in real estate,
Yes.
because it means taking a lot of the stuff that you would other have to do manually, and actually putting it into a systemized approach where things happen on their own without your intervention constantly. It's really important that those things get put into place early. Not to say you can't do them farther in your career, but it's just easier if you do them earlier.
Yeah.
Start them
If
earlier.
if someone were to time block some time to work on their database, what would be the 3 key actions to do on a weekly basis with your database?
Oh, first one I would do is trim.
Nice.
I would trim my database because databases can become monsters. Your database really should be a place for clients
Yeah.
or people you are going to market to. So if you have somebody in your database that you have no interest in marketing to, then they should not be in your business database. I see a lot of databases that have, great Aunt Susan and, mom and dad, and they don't want to market to those people. So they shouldn't be in the database in the first place. They're just puffery. They're just, you know, ballooning it out for no reason,
Yeah.
right? So trimming our database is
Number
number
one.
one. Number two is organizing the database.
Love it.
So making sure that the people who matter most to your business are the ones that are getting the most interaction from you. So it would be similar to, if I had a client that has either done business with me recently or has referred business to me multiple times over the course of the year, well, every time I have a spare moment, I'm going to be contacting that person through my database, whether it's a phone call, stop by, whether it's a go for coffee, whether it's take them out to dinner or go to a Blue Jays game with them. We're going to do something to connect with that person because they are high priority inside my database. Because I really only have a certain amount of time, so I really want to spend my time with the most valuable people in my database,
Got it. Yeah.
right? And the people who are less valuable will not get as much of my time,
Yeah.
right? And so organizing your database is the second big thing.
Yeah.
And number three is use your database.
Nice.
Is actually go in and work with it. Like make the phone calls out of it, write notes in it, make sure that it's up to date and active. It's not a thing that's passive. It's supposed to help you keep organized and tell you who you need to call or go pop by on or send out a mailing to or whatever it might be, whose birthday it is. Your database should be used. Should go every day and find the list of activities that your database is requiring you to do today and then doing that work,
Yeah.
not putting it off till
No.
tomorrow.
Use it. Yeah. Sometimes it becomes like a dusted
Absolutely.
thing
It's
in
just a
their
filing
mind.
cabinet
They're
with
like, oh
dust on
yeah,
it.
database. I got 100 people in there, but it's been 2 years since I checked it.
That's right. Exactly. So those are the three top things I would say to anybody using a database.
Awesome. Thank you. And then what's exciting for you in the industry? What are you looking forward to this year or next couple months?
Well, the industry at large is always exciting. I have not found a bad time in the market.
True.
The market can go up, the market can go down, it can become a seller's market, it can become a buyer's market, it become a flat market. It really doesn't matter. There's always opportunities to provide value to people. When markets are in turmoil, oftentimes that's when real estate agents become more valuable because people are unsure of what's going on or how they fit within the grander scheme of the market. Sellers are worried and scared, so you need to be the voice of reason, the voice of calm, the voice of confidence, and explain to them what's happening and how it affects them.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that the market is not providing a moment of flatness.
Yeah.
It's always moving. It's always bubbling.
Yeah.
Um, as far as with Chase Realty is concerned, we're excited because we're growing, and that's exciting to me that Chase Realty continues to grow. We keep adding new blood to our environment, and that's really exciting. We're starting new programs all the time. Chase Realty is working on a new plan for our agents to never have to pay a brokerage fee in their life again, and that excites me. That real estate for real estate agents can be less of a burden of overhead, but more of I have the freedom to choose the level of my success. And Chase Realty was kind of founded on those principles to always provide you the opportunity to set your level of success. And so our agents have the opportunity to never actually ever have to pay the brokerage again from commission splits or end fees. or monthly desk fees. So that's exciting. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to talk more about that another time.
Seems like really new things that are exciting coming up with the brokerage, new people, new programs, just always looking to innovate in the market.
Trying to, yes. I mean, there's so many things that people can do in this market to innovate. I just don't want people to ever feel like they're being burdened by the cost of being a real estate agent.
Yes.
You know, brokerage fees be brokerage fees. Every brokerage operates at some level, and you know, evaluating to make sure that people are, being served appropriately for the fees that they're paying.
Mhm.
Um, those are the important things to me, right? And it's really exciting that we get the opportunity to serve our agents the way we do.
Nice,
And they are enthusiastic agents to begin with.
nice. Great opportunity to look at. Where do people find you if they're trying to find out more about Chase, the brokerage, what you offer, how you support them?
Yeah, so Chase Realty's online. It's chaserealty.ca. That's our primary website. My phone, our phone information is available at any time. I'm available on WhatsApp. I'm available on Messenger. I'm available on text and phone calls and emails. We're available everywhere, basically.
Everywhere to find out more.
Yeah, there's a link to my personal calendar to set a Zoom up with me to have a one-on-one conversation. If anybody is interested to talk about how we can serve or how we can't serve your own independent business, then I'd be happy to sit down and kind of chat.
That's amazing. I hope everyone can get the opportunity to at least find out about it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's the responsibility of a responsible business owner to know the options within the marketplace.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, I mean, we're not going to be for everybody. Chase Realty isn't, and not any. There's no brokerage that's going to be right for everybody, and that's okay.
Yeah,
And that's a beautiful thing. That's exciting, right? That means that there's options for people to be exploring.
yeah.
It is really important that they do, as business owners, at least know their options are available. I do want to put a plug in for you because Sold Right Away has helped Chase Realty immensely, and it's a really wonderful business. The ability to find a marketing company that specifically is designed for real estate agents is a real value to the industry. So for anybody who is, on the fence about whether or not to utilize a specialized marketing company, I would say that is a no-brainer. Specialists are specialists for a reason. They know what they're doing when it comes to real estate marketing, and when that's the only thing they do, then you can only do that better than the person that's the generalist.
Amazing. Thank you so much for saying that.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for joining. If you know anyone who could benefit from this episode, please click to share it with them.